Welcome to A Spectacular Thing. Today I've got a lot to cover. I'll start with the Allo Boss DAC connected to a Raspberry Pi 3, and then I'll compare that to the Audioengine D1 DAC that's connected to my computer. Finally, I'd like to discuss how this is all powered with ROON, Tidal, and Spotify. A DAC, or digital to analog converter, takes a digital audio signal and converts it to an analog signal so you can output it to speakers. Sounds simple enough, but there are all kinds of DACs that range in price from a few dollars to tens of thousands of dollars. The Allo Boss DAC outputs up to 32 bits at 384 kHz high quality audio, which is beyond anything I can hear. Most of my music is encoded in MP3 at 320 kilobits per second. That's pretty low quality. The best I have is a copy of Van Halen's 5150, a master quality FLAC at 192 kHz. Anyway, this Allo Boss DAC is plugged into a Raspberry Pi, and I have Ropey OS running on it. Ropey is a ROON bridge ready endpoint. That means I can stream my ROON and Tidal content to it in whatever glorious resolution it sends. Ropey is also available to power the 7-inch touchscreen from Raspberry Pi. This means you would get always on screen showing album art as well as some metadata about the track that you're listening to. The Allo DAC and 7-inch touchscreen turn a Raspberry Pi into a cheap name Unity Atom, except without the inputs. It's ROON and Tidal only, but I can upgrade it to Ropey XL, which includes Spotify Connect. I have the DAC plugged into my KEF LSX speakers. This samples the music at 24192. I have a full review of my KEF speakers in my blog, which I'll link to in the description below. I use this Audioengine D1 DAC, and it is a great little unit. It supports up to 24192, that's 24 bits at 192 kHz sound, which is more than enough for most people, and it matches my KEF LSX speakers. The Allo Boss DAC sounds different to the Audioengine D1. The Allo is present in that it hands you the music and says, "Here, listen to this," whereas the D1 is more clinical playback. I don't know if you understand what I mean. The D1 sounds mass-produced, and the Allo sounds personal. That's the best way that I can describe the difference. The problem with the Allo Boss DAC is that at high volumes, there's a noticeable buzz in the audio. This could be due to bad circuitry in the power lines, or it could be any number of other things. There are 3 modes for power. You can either power the Raspberry Pi, and the DAC will suck power from the Pi. You can power the DAC, and it'll shoot power over to the Pi. Or you can power both of them independently. Also, it kind of takes over your speakers. If you want to have something else going into the speakers, you have to add in a mixer to the whole thing, and that adds more buzz. With shipping and taxes, both of these DACs are about $100, which is why I'm comparing them to each other. The downside here is that I have a DAC outputting analog into the KEFs, which then digitizes the audio only to put it through its internal DACs. That seems overkill, but it does sound good. There are a lot of downs here: buzz, multi-device input, and the look of raw circuit boards just hanging out. The quality of audio, although better, doesn't make up for these downsides. I'll probably stick with the Audioengine D1 plugged into my main PC for now, until I get a dedicated listening area. So what is the source material for these DACs? Well, I wanted to be sure that I had the best possible solution, so I looked at what audiophiles do. John Darko at darko.audio uses ROON with Tidal Connect as the sound source for his music listening. I'll link to his YouTube channel and website in the description below. So I set up ROON. I had a Nook that I use for videos that I put ROON's rock system on. That takes over the entire machine, so it can't be used for anything else. But they do have a ROON server for Windows, Mac, and Linux. The idea here is that if you have a library of music, you can stream it to any ROON-ready endpoint you'd like. It also mixes in streaming services from Tidal and Kobos. The setup is really nice. These streaming services stream all their content in CD quality 1644, and about 7% of the content in what they call master quality, where the bitrate goes from 1644 to 2496. The difference between 1644 and 2496 isn't as great as it sounds on paper. There is a difference, but it's subtle. It's in the movement, the curves of the music. You can feel the difference. It's like the difference between 4K and 8K. It's there in the periphery. Spotify is the 800-pound gorilla in the music streaming business. They are the laggards in bringing out CD quality music. Apple, Amazon, Tidal, Kobos all have CD quality music now, but Spotify only streams at what is equivalent to 320 kilobits per second. It sounds decent, but after listening to Tidal for 2 months, I can hear the difference, and I hope that they get CD quality to match all other streaming services soon. Initially, I was wowed by the mixes that Tidal created automatically. They matched my musical preferences exactly. I couldn't believe it, but after 2 months, they never changed. Also, to find new music, I was always switching back to Spotify to see the release radar. Tidal showed new music, but none of it matched my musical tastes. I had ROON and Tidal for 2 months while testing all this out. ROON is interesting because it will play music from your own collection as well as from Tidal. As I said earlier, my entire collection, save for one album, is at 320 kilobits per second MP3. So when ROON switched from a track in my collection to one in the Tidal namespace, I could really hear my ears perk up. However, having my speakers devoted to music left me wanting more. I wasn't able to do Skype, Teams, or Slack calls on my computer. Until I have a dedicated music playback system, I'll leave ROON off. As for the debate between Tidal and Spotify, in my mind there's no debate. Tidal wins, but because my family is all on Spotify, I'll continue with Spotify and hope that they get CD quality music soon. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. While you're down there, be sure to subscribe and hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you for watching.